Hey guys, what's going on? So today we are going to be checking out the new ASTROMON Odin. I was looking at them a bit last night and they seem actually pretty good, especially the first one here, the fire one, has def break and attack down, 80% chance, 2 turns, definitely a decent chance there, 80% chance there, that's just 20% shy of 100% chance for those non-math geniuses out there, and defense down and attack down are pretty much universally useful, so all around a very solid ASTROMON. Also the leader skill is very good, obviously only for ASTROMON League, but HP leader skill, probably one of the strongest leader skills, if not the strongest leader skill for ASTROMON League, and with natural 5-star like percentages. So all around very good unit, very solid unit, natural 5-star-esque unit as it should be. Also, I really like the design of these Odins, look pretty sick. Here's the variant form of the fire one, also quite nice, Gym wise, she is a tank with very high natural HP and very high natural defense. When we go over natural 5-star units, we typically look at the Evo 2 form because Evo 3 is very far off for most people, but yeah, still same story, very high HP, very high defense, and she is a tank type with debuff skills, so she's obviously meant to be a debuffer, not so much a damage dealer, but she can help her team deal a lot more damage while also reducing the enemy's damage with the defense down and attack down, so she definitely should be very survivable. So for her, I'd probably go HP defense, focusing on HP defense and resist substats mainly. But yeah, as far as I've seen, she's probably the best Odin, but the others are quite good as well. So we're gonna go ahead and move on to the water one now. The water one is a pure stunner, just from looking at the pictures, 100% chance on the 3-star skill, 70% chance AoE on the 5-star skill. So again, very good for ASTROMON League. Stun is a very powerful ability in ASTROMON League, probably one of the best actually, maybe besides shock or defense down on defense aggressors, etc. All depends on the situation. But yeah, total stun monster here. And the reason I still think fire is better, even though stun is probably one of the best things for ASTROMON League, is because attack down and defense down have both gotten way more powerful in a recent update. I know this is about the 1000th time I've said that in the recent ASTROMON review videos, but it was a pretty big change, especially for some units. But yeah, I definitely don't think there are any bad ones, except maybe it was either the light or the dark one, which was kind of subpar to be honest. But I don't think there are any really bad Odins. Here's her Evo 3 form. Actually, the Evo 3 water and the Evo 3 fire variants look very similar. Okay, well, the water one's a little bit lighter, I guess. Yeah. Still nice, regardless. Anyway, taking a look at her Evo 2 stats, she's a balanced type, obviously very balanced stats as well, almost perfectly, 2054, 2044, and the recovery is a teeny tiny bit lower with the HP. HP is honestly quite low, but I guess that's pretty typical for level 50 Evo 2s. And with balanced types, they don't really call for anything special on their abilities. I typically go balanced, so HP, attack, and defense. Of course, it all depends on what you want out of her. I mean, she is balanced, so she could be used as a more DPS unit, even though I typically like to keep that to attackers, but it's definitely an option. You can definitely go 2 attacks and an HP or so, or you can make her tanky to keep on stunning, so an HP defense sort of setup like that. Personally, I'd probably go HP attack defense, make her balanced like her typing is, while going for resist, HP attack or defense substats. Resist is most important, obviously, if you're not going for a resist gym. All around, definitely a solid unit. I'd be happy to pull either the fire or the water one. I'm pretty sure the grass one is also good, so let's go ahead and move on to that. Alright, so now we're taking a look at the wood one. Here's the Evo 3 form, here's the Evo 3 variant. They all turn sort of turquoise bluish. I'm fine with that. The color schemes are all quite nice, in my opinion. But regardless, let's take a look at the skills. So she has HP Siphon, but as far as I know, this actually is a weaker version of the HP Siphon that Wood Arthur has, because if you read the description, his says attacks greatly restore own HP in proportion to the amount of damage dealt, and hers just says attacks restore own HP in proportion to the amount of damage dealt, not greatly restore. And I think I saw some discussion on the MSL subreddit, MSL game, check it out if you haven't, that when it doesn't say greatly, it's only 50% of the damage dealt converts into HP, but when it says greatly restores, it's 100% of the damage. Now, I can't be totally sure about that, that's just what I've heard, and maybe her HP Siphon is as strong as Wood Arthur's, and they just didn't bother to add the greatly or whatever, I can't tell. But assuming it is half as effective as Wood Arthur's, the HP Siphon still is pretty good in my opinion. And then her 5-star skill is AoE defense down, which is also very nice. I love defense down, it's probably my favorite debuff, makes killing things faster. So all around, I'd say she's a solid unit, pretty good. Probably not as good as fire or water, especially when we're talking about Astromon League. I'd say she's definitely better than water for dungeons, as you can't stun bosses. And she may actually be the best out of the 3 for dungeons because she can self-sustain herself as well as defense downing. So she's actually quite epic for dungeons. Not as good for Astromon League, but still solid there. She can definitely work there. Defense down, very important debuff. Self-sustain can also be great in Astromon League. If you're gonna bring her in a slightly more tanky team, maybe with an HP leader skill to give her that extra survivability she might need to be able to self-sustain so she doesn't get one shot by anything. Yeah, taking a look at her Evo 2 stats, she is an attacker. Obviously much higher natural attack, actually a little bit higher HP than the water one also, but pretty low defense. So as always with attackers, if you want the most damage, you gotta go crit rate, attack, ruin set. Although I might not do that if I were to pull a Wood Odin, because I think that might make her a little bit too fragile. I mean, she does have the HP siphon, so you should try and get as much damage as possible. But when she doesn't have anything that really calls for critical, it's kind of an iffy decision, because going for the ruin set with attack, and crit rate would be probably the best for her, but since it won't make that huge of a difference when she doesn't have the natural 100% crit damage, when she doesn't have anything that affects her crit rate or crit damage, like a hunter skill, and when she doesn't need criticals for her skills to work, I'm not sure if it's totally worth going for a ruin set, because to take effect of the ruin set, not only is it kind of hard to farm to get really good ruin gems, but then you kind of have to commit to get as close to 100% crit rate as possible, because if she's not critting, she's not taking advantage of that ruin set you worked your ass off to get. So I personally would probably go attack, HP when I would first get her, and make the ruin critical attack set a more long-term goal. I know when she would have more HP from the HP gem, it would be harder to keep her at full health with HP siphon, but I still think it might be better than defense for a couple of reasons, because it looks like she has more natural HP than defense, so an HP gem would be more effective, and also defense down is a lot more powerful than it was before. It affects gyms now, and defense down is quite prominent in a lot of the golems, so I'd probably give her HP instead. All around, again, very solid unit, probably best for dungeons, golems, dragons. I think she can be used pretty much anywhere, even Astromon League as well, but definitely best for when there's a boss, so a golem, dragon, whatever, you know. Now we're taking a look at the light one. Here's the Evo 3, here's the alright, again, very similar color scheme to the other variants, but let's go ahead and check her out. Alright, she seems to be a sapper and a sort of sub-healer. Kind of a strange combination there, but I can imagine it would be a decent combo for dungeons. I guess specifically Golem Dungeon or Starstone Dungeon, since dragons can't be sapped. I think this was the subpar unit though, as the sap isn't even really that powerful. 2 saps for 1 turn. It is 100% chance, so it's essentially the same as Light Gatitos, I guess. Also is kind of subpar, and the 5-star skill can definitely be useful as a sort of support healing. She is a tank, so that works out well. But yeah, I think that would definitely more be her role, is to be a sub healer rather than a sapper. Evo 2 stats pretty solid, 27k HP, 1700 defense. Honestly, for her, I'd probably just go completely full HP, so HP. Since her 3-star skill doesn't really call for anything special, and her 5-star skill is based on her own HP, and she is a tank. So yeah, that's just what I would do. And also, as far as I know, this 10% is per attack, so if there are 4 units on the field, it'll actually be 40% healed of her own HP, which is actually pretty massive if you can get her up to like 80, 90, 100k HP. So given the right circumstances, she can actually be as good or better than a main healer while also attacking. But yeah, that's her. I think that was actually the more underwhelming unit. I think the dark one also actually wasn't that good, which is kind of weird because the light and dark ones are obviously going to be the hardest to get. Only very, very, very lucky people will managed to get a natural 5-star light or dark unit. Anyway, moving on to the dark one. Actually, this one has this battle rush stuff, right? Yeah. 20% of own HP and SP, and then 80% 3-turn AoE def down. She is definitely not bad at all. As far as I know, she is the only other unit with battle rush, the same as Light Shiva has, as you can see here. Battle Rush, and it's actually a pretty powerful skill. She is a balance type though, so she won't be taking that much advantage of the HP recovery. But yeah, pretty solid stats all around, balanced. I'd probably actually build her with maybe a little bit more HP in this case, because she doesn't call for any damage on her skills, and attacks will restore 20% of her HP, so having more HP is better for more survivability in this case. And then the AoE def down, love it. I think Dark is actually one of my favorites, and in my opinion, it's actually one one of the best ones too. Fire might still be the best one out of them all, but I think Dark comes in second maybe. If we're talking about general purpose stuff, Water is probably one of the best, if not the best for Astromon League, but won't be all that useful everywhere else. Here's her variant form, actually goes completely different than all the other variant forms. We got like a Halloween bee sort of color scheme going on here, but I like it. It's all good. So all around, I'd say she's actually a very good unit. I personally would probably gym her HP attack, so she can do a little bit of damage in there as well as being able to survive. I mean, depending on what you're planning on using her for, you may want to go full HP or maybe HP defense or HP resist. I do recommend putting 2 HP on her to take more advantage of her 3-star skill, but the last one is definitely more up to preference. One funny thing to note about her stats is you can see recovery is freaking low as hell, but that missing stat goes to attack, defense, and HP, so that's freaking awesome because she doesn't really need recovery when she's going to be recovering her own HP and SP every turn anyway. But yeah, my personal ranking probably goes Fire best, Dark second best, Water third, Wood fourth, Light fifth. But yeah, I guess that'll do it for today's video. Have you guys already tried to summon an Odin? Have you been successful? Does anyone have an Odin yet? I did see someone pull one, I think last night after maintenance. But yeah, tell me down in the comments below. Also, leaving a like if you did happen to enjoy the video would be greatly appreciated. Thanks, as always, for watching, and until next time.